What's going on with the market for cryptocurrencies right now? It feels like we heard all this good news not long ago. There have been a lot of big changes recently, like the creation of a cryptocurrency fund in the US, claims by banks that they will use cryptocurrency technology, and the filing of ETFs that will bring billions of dollars into this asset class. But the costs keep going down. I'm going to talk about what's really going on and how long I think this sell-off will last in this video. Guys, a lot of people are missing out on something very important that will really help them figure out why prices are falling right now. Don't leave before the end. You won't want to miss it. Thanks again for all your help with this channel. Thank you to everyone who liked the movies and signed up for the channel. These two easy things help me a lot. Also, if you ever need to buy XRP, make sure you check out the link to my favorite exchange in the video's description. Anyway, I'll listen right away, and I hope you guys enjoy what's being said. Because I want to start this video by talking about something I think is pretty cool before we talk about how prices are moving right now, because I believe this is one of those things that will help you see through the current market instability and all the good things that are going to happen later this year. This was just put up and I thought it was really cool. It's actually a letter from Larry Fink in which he talks about the future of cryptocurrencies. He doesn't name any specific blockchain, but I want to break this post down so that you can easily see how XRP fits in. The message below, written by BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, is one of the most positive things you will read about crypto and XRP, as Pano said earlier today. Now, just reading this, it sounds like it was written by Ripple. That's the exact quote he takes from the letter. Also, who knows, it could have been, because the person in charge of digital assets at BlackRock used to be a member of Ripple. There's a good chance that BlackRock is talking about Ripple when they say these things. I mean, the person in charge of their digital asset platform used to work for Ripple, and just thinking about this makes me think it's very important for people to know how big this is. Right now, BlackRock is pretty much saying that cryptocurrencies will change the whole economy in a way that has never been possible before. They will add a layer of growth that has never been possible before. The plumbing will work better, cost less, and be stronger because of it. It will make the world grow. That's how powerful what we're talking about is. A while back, it was mostly just fans like you and me saying, okay, this could really do these things. Now, though, we're not just talking about possibility for the first time ever. The largest financial companies, which are still using the old rails, are saying, hey, we need these new rails because they are going to be that much better. This is what you need to remember as we watch the rest of the movie. When we talk about some of the things that could happen soon and cause a lot of volatility, a lot of people will likely be very worried. But you need to know that the market crashed in 2008. 4 to 5 times as much money was lost by companies like Apple, whose goods changed the game. They were wiped out. But they were back to new all-time highs in just a couple of months. That's because they were putting out products that would completely change the business for good. It didn't change what Apple was doing because of the banking situation. Traders did sell the stock. Concerns about cash did scare people, but the technology was so powerful that it changed everything, and 5-10 years later people had huge exponential gains. I think that's what will probably happen with cryptocurrency as well. For the first time ever, you don't have to listen to fans like me say this is how I think the future will turn out. You should only listen to what BlackRock says. They have the money in their hands. They move the money around. They are telling you straight out that this is the future we're going to. Any longer, this is just a crazy plot or an idea from the sky. This is what we need to do to make our company much better. This is about the public blockchains that you and I have. Now that you know this, why in the world are these things being sold off right now when this level of formal adoption is about to happen? First, it's important to understand that guys like me have a much more complicated and in-depth view of the world than most people who invest in these assets. Most of the people who are investing in these things haven't fully thought about what Larry Fink and I just talked about. They do not understand that deep use. They don't read these things. They had to be shown to them in major news outlets. They need to see BlackRock do these things for real. BlackRock raised their hand and said, hey, we're using the XRP ledger to make settlement happen in seconds instead of days and weeks. That's what those people need to see. Also, the market isn't quite there yet where people can read between the lines and understand how these coins will shape the future we just talked about. So the market is just moving along with the big market. For the rest of this video, I'm going to talk about the general market, which is what is making cryptocurrency prices go up and down right now. This is probably the most important index right now. The QQ, it's the tech index for the whole world, and it breaks down how it affects cryptocurrencies. It's now having an effect on cryptocurrencies because big fund managers who just move money around and don't know anything about these chains see that growth stocks and technology stocks are falling, so they think that cryptocurrencies should also fall. And when a big and important index like the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, or the Dow goes down by a large amount, almost all asset classes will be hurt, especially cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies will also get hit because this is getting hit right now. Now, why is it being hit? Why is there a sell-off? That's likely the most important thing about all this. How long will this last? Things seem to be going wrong with the business. Are things going to get worse? Is there another black swan just around the corner? And the market is being driven by two very important things right now, and I think those are the only things you should really be paying attention to. The first one is the battle over tariffs. Their mess with tariffs has really upset the market. There are also a lot of people who are scared that tariffs will cause a new slump. This is what I'll say now. Trump talked about taxes the whole time before he was elected, and everyone saw it as a good sign. Now that they're happening, everyone is going crazy. One of two things is true. Tariffs will either work out great or not work at all. I think they'll be very good for the US because they will bring industry back to the US and make us more competitive with the rest of the world. Most of the things that are taxed aren't really important. People in Canada are freaking out about these taxes, and while I completely understand how they feel, the United States doesn't actually get that much stuff from Canada. Not that much very important stuff anyway. So these things will still happen to us. Most likely it will just be sold for less to cover the tax. Things might cost more because of the tax, but it's not a black swan event. Things cost a little more, which isn't always a good thing in the short term, but is mostly useful for bargaining in the long term. I don't think these taxes will last. The market is reacting to these tariffs right now by saying that we're going to have a depression or a decline, which I don't think is true. But just to show you, look at Trump's first term. Tariffs 1 was the first time he did them. As you can see, the market dropped a lot when he said the taxes were coming. A lot of people said the same things that people are saying now, which hurt the market a lot. This is a big trend of fear in the news. All of these news stories say that Trump's taxes are hurting the economy. But it looks like we'll see the same thing that happened the first time. When the taxes were put in place, everyone went crazy. As soon as everyone understood this, these tariffs wouldn't really hurt the economy and the market would get better. It seems like we're going through the same fear or noise phase right now. The market will finally realize that things aren't that bad after the tariffs have been active for a couple of months. I think the market will also come to the same decision. People are going to see that this is just a big way to make people afraid and not really about anything. Another thing people need to know is about inflation. I personally find this a little troubling, but it's more likely than not going to cause a huge economic boom. Over the past few years, the US has been killing its own growth on purpose. Another thing you might be thinking is why the US would want to stop its own growth. Why is that? Because there was a problem with inflation. Truflation, on the other hand, says that inflation is 1.76% in the US right now, which is less than the Federal Reserve's goal.